Hello, class receiving students and teachers.
Hello, Miss Vargas.
Thank you. You may be all seated. Okay, once again, class, the receiving students and teachers, we are still on the same strand, same learning outcome, and same unit title. By this time, students, you should know very well the strand, the learning outcome, and the unit title. Now, in the previous lesson, when I tried asking some of us in the class, I believe students in the receiving schools, you must have given the correct answers to your teachers. But with our friends here in the model class, we were not able to. So let me just go through quickly to see if we are able to give the correct answer. Okay, our strand, Clement, strand for today's lesson.
Working scientifically.
Very good, working scientifically. The learning outcome, let's have Angie to give us.
7.1.1.
7.1.1. Okay, good. So that's our strand and learning outcome. We've had about 13 lessons so far, still on the strand, and we are still with that strand and learning outcome. Now, what about our unit title? Samuel?
Skills and
Okay, let's have someone from Samuel's group to help Samuel. Thank you, Samuel, for trying. Agnes? Agnes, are you going to try?
Describing object to others.
Okay, good try. That's one of our activities in from the previous lesson. Good. Let's have Teresa. Maybe we get it correct this time.
sorting properties.
Okay, good try. Teresa is giving us once again another activity. JJ?
Skills that reflect real science.
Very good. Skills that reflect real science. It has been with us for the last 13 lessons. Thank you. Now, I'd like the class and the receiving students to observe as I get two students to do something for me. If I can have Momoru and Joshua, please. Come around this way. Now with me, I have all these are all parts of a plant. Okay, I have them all in one big group. Now, I'd like to see how these two can, what they can do about this set that we have here. Let's see what you can do with this. Now, class and the receiving students, what are your friends doing? What are your friends doing? Thank you. Let's have Tara. Receiving students, please, I'd like you to also tell your teacher what you have just seen.
Sorting properties.
Okay, good. Sorting properties. Thank you, Momoru and Joshua. You can sit down. Okay, receiving students and the class, your friends have actually, there was a big set and of parts of a plant, and they put them into two groups. Okay, now that will introduce us to our lesson topic, which is sorting properties. And this is the first lesson on sorting properties. We have another lesson in the next day will be another lesson on sorting properties. Now, the materials that we need for this lesson, you have been asked in the previous lesson, class and the receiving students, to come with stems of leaves, and I hope you have done that. Now, let's see, I have some samples. So these are all my stems of leaves. I've got a couple of them, and you were supposed to come with stems of leaves. Okay, that's an example. The stem is still there, and you have the leaves on the stem. Okay, let's see another. The leaves are on the stem. Okay, we have another. So I have a couple of them. I brought them to show you what you were supposed to bring for this lesson. And I hope receiving students, you have also done the same in the class 2. We will be working with those stems of leaves for this lesson. We have definition. There is only one word there, a phrase. It says binary classification. Now it means grouping or sorting a set of objects into two groups according to their properties. Now for this lesson, the object that we are going to be using are the leaves. We've already, in the previous lessons, and especially the lessons that I had, you've already learned about different arrangements of leaves on stems, and I hope you still remember those receiving students too. Okay, let's see our first instruction. I am going to go through the instructions, and I'd like you to take note of that class and the receiving students. Then after that, you will be asked to do the activity. Now, our first part of activity is to put all the stems of leaves in a big set. Okay, you have all been asked to come with 2 each, and that you are to put that into a big set. And thank you, there are some who have already done that, like group 3 and others. Thank you. Our receiving students, please, I'd like you to do the same or take note as we go through. Now, secondly, you are to sort the stems into 2 subsets of how they are arranged on the stems. Leaves arranged alternately. Leaves arranged opposite. Okay, next, you are to complete that chart with information collected from the sorting of leaves into sets and subsets. Now, class, you have in your book, your student worksheet handbook, where the lesson on sorting 1, you have a chart. For receiving students and the teachers, if you haven't received the book yet, I have the chart that shows the chart that you should be filling. So receiving students and teachers, if you don't have the books with you, that's the chart that you will complete after you have done your sorting. Now, I'd like to go through quickly in how you will complete that chart, and I'd like the class as well as the receiving students to take note as I go through quickly. You have a chart like this, and you have 4 columns. The first one is instructing you how you are going to sort your leaves that are on the stem. Second one, it says yes, and the third column says no. Now, this is what you are going to do. Once you sort your leaves into these subsets, you check to see how many of them has the description given, how many of them you have the number written. How many you find don't, you have the number written there. You do the same also for this one. Now here it says single. Leaves arranged alternately along the stem which are single. An example, okay, this is single, just one. If you have a look at it, that is what it's talking about there when it says single. Okay, that is our instruction so far on what you are going to do. Class and receiving students, I hope you have taken note of those instructions as we went through to the last one, which is to complete the chart, complete this chart that you have in your student worksheet. Receiving students, if you don't have this, maybe you could try to get that chart copied quickly. While you, if there are more than 6 of you, you have somebody to get that chart copied into your books, and others you do the sorting of those leaves. If I can have the class to start now. Okay, let's see. You put this one away, put your books away. Just check on. Okay, if you can just get your tray. Okay, remove your tray and then you can put your leaves on the one. Yeah, that big one too. Put them all out and remove your tray. Okay. Okay, let's see. So which one is your subset for alternate and which one is for okay, let's see, Jubilee. How can you tell us that those the subset you made alternate? Yeah, get the mic. How can you tell us that that subset you made is alternate, leaves are alternately arranged on the stem?
Because all of these leaf stems here, they're all in one stem.
Okay, on one stem. But how can you say that, or how can you tell that they are alternate?
They all come out from one stem.
Okay, one stem. And if you have a good look at it, okay, so let's say maybe you have this big one here, okay? So here you say this set that you have made is alternate. This subset you made is alternate. Now you are telling us because they are all on the what?
On one stem.
On one stem, but look at it carefully. How are they arranged?
They all arranged on the sides, one after the other.
Very good. They are arranged on the sides, one after another. So you see one here, you come up another. Good, thank you. Now you tell us, my Pauline, tell us why you say this subset is a subset of leaves which are arrange opposite?
Because
You can show us one, maybe your big one there.
because the leaves are opposite each other.
The leaf. Look at it. You look at it carefully. Do you say this is opposite? Look at it. Is it opposite? Especially here, we look at the big stem. Is it opposite?
No,
No, okay. So which one were you looking at? The smaller one here or the big one?
the small ones.
The small ones. Okay, so you're looking at the small ones, so you say this is opposite. Okay, good, thank you. Now, you're going to complete this chart. You have a big one. Okay, bring your leaves here on this side. So, you look at what does the instruction say there? Yeah, what does the instruction say? You read it. What does the instruction say?
Leaves arranged opposite along the stem which are single.
Okay, so opposite, huh? So which one? Okay, so you're going to, what are you going to do now? Okay, good, thank you. Do that quickly. How many? Just the same. Okay, so have your number written. Where it says yes, opposite. Okay, can I have you to do the same for this alternate? While she's writing the number down, you do the same for alternate. How many you have? Have it recorded. That's the same type you have. Okay, now what can you say about this one here? Okay, here you say these are the ones that have leaves arranged opposite, which are single. What about this one here? Do you have any that are arranged opposite, which are not single? No, huh? No. Okay, so what do you write there? Okay. Do the same for the other one. Do you have any that are arranged alternately but not single? Do you have any? No. Okay, you have one there. Okay, good. Okay, quickly have just one of those leaves drawn there and one over there. And I'd like you to have somebody to get ready for the presentation. Just have it drawn quickly. One leaf, alternate one. You can just draw it. Now who is going to present? My colleague? You? Okay, that's enough. Let's have you to do the next one. Somebody else, not Jubilee. We have someone else to do that. Okay, someone else. Draw that. Leaves are arranged alternately. That's opposite, alternately. Don't worry about the flowers, only the leaves. I'd like you to have somebody ready for the presentation. Thank you. You got yours done already? Okay, good. Thank you. Oh, you getting in your book? Your what?
The story.
Oh. Oh, it's okay. We'll just look around and see if we can find any. Okay, good. Thank you. Did you have the number written? How many you have? Did you hear what I said? How many you have? You have the number written here. See? Like here. So how many of the leaves you brought have stems which are alternately arranged? I mean, the leaves that are alternately arranged. You have to count them. How many? When you put them together there, you are making two subsets, okay? One that has leaves arranged opposite on the stem, one that has leaves arranged alternately on the stem. So how many have leaves arranged opposite? Count it, write it. How many have leaves arranged alternate? Count it, write it. Now if you find that there are some leaves you brought which are arranged opposite but not singular, you know, one or same. If you have them there, that number you write it under no, okay? That's what you have to do. Did you have your number written? You didn't listen to instruction I gave, see? You have to have how many leaves, branches or stems that you have that have leaves arranged opposite. How many of them you have? How many that have leaves arranged alternate? You write the numbers where it says yes, okay? Where it says no, check to see there may be some leaves that are arranged opposite but not singular. They may be in cluster or something like that. If you don't have any, then just write 0. If you have 1 or 2, you write the number there. Let's see your picture. Is this one is, what's this? Is this opposite or alternate? Jeff, opposite or alternate? Opposite. And what does the instruction there say? You didn't see your instruction. You didn't read it. Let's see yours, win. These are leaves what arrange? Win? No, don't tell Win. I want Win to tell me. Leaves arrange? Opposite, alternate? Okay. How many? But how many of them have stems arranged opposite? How many of your? 6. So the number should be written here.
The number.
Yeah? That's the instruction I gave. You did not get that instruction. Yeah, tick and also the number that you have. In that way you will know. Because when you write number, this number is also a property. Yeah, we are trying to know how many they have. Okay, thank you. We should have all finished with our activity. I would like to have Michaeline and her friends, somebody from that group, to present what you have done in your group, please. Now we will have Michaeline from group. We will have Michaeline from group 9 to tell us what her friends and herself actually did to have that information that they have on that binary chart. Extend. Okay. If you need to point, there's a pointer there you can use. Thank you, Michaeline.
On our study, we found out that there were only 4 leaves that were arranged opposite along the stems which are single, and that none were arranged opposite along the stem which were not single. The leaves arranged alternate along the stem which are single were only 6. There was only 1 that wasn't single. This is how the leaves arranged opposite look like. For the leaves arranged alternately along the stem which are single, this is something that they look like. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Michaeline. Now, class and the receiving students, that is how you should have done your sorting. Simple sorting. And in that sorting, we only did 2 subsets from the original set. From the original set, we made 2 subsets. We made a subset of leaves arranged alternately on the stem. Also, another subset of leaves arranged opposite on the stem. And like Michaeline and her friends have found out when they were sorting out, I hope you also found out the same. In their case, they found out that when they sorted out leaves arranged opposite on the stem, they didn't have any that was in cluster, okay? But with leaves arranged alternately, they found 1. When they sorted out, 6 of them leaves are single on the stem, and 1 they found that leaves are not single. They are in cluster. I hope you have also found out the same in your groups when you were sorting out the leaves into those 2 subsets. Now, let's go quickly through what we have done. What we actually did is classifying objects, or especially we were working with leaves, into the properties that they have. Now, teachers, leaves have some other properties besides being arranged opposite and also alternately on the stems. You can have your students probably later, they will sort them into colors or maybe into shapes of the leaves or the edges of the leaves. But for this lesson, we only did 1, that is arranging them opposite and alternately of the way the leaves are on the stem. Now, our summary, we only have 1. It says sets of objects divided into 2 subsets of each having or not having a certain property is called a binary classification system. I'd like you to have that copied quickly into your workbooks, not your worksheet handbooks, but your science workbooks. Receiving students too, you do the same. Now, who would like to tell us what our key phrase for this lesson is? Anyone from the class? Receiving students also, let your teacher know what you think our key phrase for this lesson is. Carlen? Carlen, if we can have you to tell us what you think the key phrase for this lesson is.
Sorting properties.
Sorting properties. Okay, Carlen says sorting properties. Let's see what I have. Okay, binary classification. So what you actually did, Carlen, that is good. That is what you actually did. You actually sorted those leaves according to their properties. But actually what we did is classifying those leaves. Now you have homework. I'd like you to take note, and if you can get it copied quickly, receiving students as well as the class. You are to draw a classification tree for the set and subsets you made during this activity. Please copy that quickly. Let's see what we mean by classification tree. Classification tree. That is a classification tree. We have it on the screen as well as on the paper. You will be making a classification tree like this of the activity you just did for this lesson. You had an original set. From the original set, you made two subsets. And that you are going to have it in a tree like this. And this tree is called a classification tree. Now, the example we have, it says, girls in a school netball team. That is the original set. And from that original set, we can have those girls into two groups, one having black hair and the other having brown hair. Receiving students, I hope you understand what to do, as well as the class. In the next lesson, we will have a look at your classification tree of this activity. Now, our next lesson is still on sorting properties, and that is the second lesson. Materials needed will be same stems of leaves you have, but please, I'd like to see that you have a variety, meaning different types. Not the same one, because I found that in the same group, you have example like this, croton. So in the same group, you have about 6 crotons, stems of crotons. Please, I'd like you to have different types, variety of leaves, different types, single and in clusters. So everyone, you try to make sure in your groups, decide, think of what you can bring, and make sure you don't bring the same type like you have done for this lesson. And I hope receiving students, you will also do the same. Now, it says same stems of leaves. That doesn't mean you go and put those ones you brought away, and the next day you come and you bring those ones. No. You have to bring fresh ones. Now, for my sake, I can't go around and look for them, so I will have to put mine in the water so it stays fresh until I use it for the next lesson. But you, the students, I'd like you to bring fresh ones and different types. Okay, with that, thank you, class, and the receiving students for your participation. You are welcome, Ms. Watanabe, and thank you for your lesson. Okay, thank you all.